Happy Thursday. We are coming off a winning day and we got an 8-game slate. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and we're on that treadmill. That's right. We are on that baseball treadmill, but this time we were on the winning end of it. A 3-2 day yesterday. We will go over those bets. It was a little wild. But also, those hitter parlay ideas, thanks for the feedback. Sounds like you guys like them. We gave out 4. One player didn't play. The other 3 all got a hit. So hopefully that helps you get some winners as well. But before we get into this, quick reminder, NBA Best Bets video is out now for Game 5 between the T-Wolves and the Mavericks. We give you 2 best bets and some research help. So go check that out. But like I said, we got a smaller 8-game slate. Let's just get right into it, and that means it's baseball fun fact time. So here we go. Someone sent me this in Discord today. By the way, if you guys have some fun facts you want to share, feel free. I love to share them. So here we go. From at Chicago Golf Pro. We've talked about Ricky Henderson before now, but this is a different stat for Ricky. He led the league in stolen bases from 1970 to 1989. He stole 283 more bases than anyone else in baseball. You think, okay, that's obvious, no big deal, right? Starting in 1970. He didn't actually make his MLB debut till 1979. That's right. He gave the entire league an 8-year head start and then got 283 more stolen bases than anybody else up through 1989. Just kind of a wild stat. We all know he steals a ton of bases, but I thought that was pretty interesting. So thanks for sharing that. But in this video, we're going to recap yesterday. And we have a ton to get into today, guys. We got good hitter matchups, and then we didn't have this yesterday, but we got it today. We're going to talk who's on fire, hitters on fire the last 7 days, and then good pitchers, strikeout matchups, the pitcher report, and then the best bets, and wrap it all up with the hitter parlay ideas again and the bets recap. So hit that like button. Leave a comment below like you guys do every single day as we are on the way to 26,000 subscribers. So if you are new, come join this awesome community. Hit that subscribe button and let's have some fun. So let's get it started. And that means it's the bets recap time. All right, there it is. Back on the winning track with a 3-2 day. The only reason we didn't go 5-0 was because of one single player. Shota Imanaga lost our Nerfy by giving up a 2-run absolute tater to Christian Yelich and was horrendous all game. I knew he had no chance at 6.5 Ks by the second inning when hitters were literally on every single pitch. Apparently, when you dominate and then you give a guy 10 days rest, he comes back and pitches the worst game of the season. I think he gave up as many runs as he did all season long. It was unbelievable to see. He didn't strike out anybody. Terrible, terrible day by him and terrible read by me. Under 4.5 in the first 5 innings, Yankees Angels, that was absolutely wild if you watch it. Bases loaded, we have a runner's interference that helped us out. The Yankees seem to have guys on base every single inning. It ended up, I think, 1-0, so it was an easy win by that point. Even if they got a few runs, we still could have won. So I like that read. Seager and Ozuna both come through in the clutch. Ozuna always does. So that's a nice winner for the hitter parlay. And then Braxton Garrett, a half-unit play I added today, under 1.5 walks. He ended up with 0. So the walks prop finally likes me this year. But 3-2 day, there's all the numbers as we try to work back out of that hole. But that's the recap we got for you. And before we get to those best bets, let's talk the good hitter matchups. All right, we got 14 good hitter matchups for you today, which isn't too bad for an 8-game slate. Up there, our man, the Jabbo Hall of Famer, Marcell Ozuna, 10 for 30. Not great. I mean, it's hitting 300. It's not terrible, but only 1 extra base hit, so 9 singles off of Trevor Williams. Altuve hitting Logan Gilbert well as Alex Bregman, 8 for 23, 3 extra base hits, and 2 home runs off Gilbert. And there's Yelich. We were just talking about him. He has a couple home runs off Taillon. And so on and so on. Those are the rest of the guys. We got Lamock, I think is how you pronounce it, 5 for 10 for the Twins over there with a home run versus Brady Singer. So take a screenshot. Hopefully these help you get some winners. And now before we get to those arms, let's talk who's on fire. All right, we do this once a week. These are the hitters on fire the last 7 days. If you're new to the channel, you must have 20 or more at-bats and be hitting 340 or higher in the last week. And here we go. All the leaders and the average home runs and RBIs will be on page 2, so you will see those. But we got some hitters just absolutely tearing it up right now, including Kyle Schwarber, 429 with a couple bombs. Luis Arias doing just fine on his new team as well. And then Mountcastle, how about 435 with no bombs, which is surprising. And Connor Joe, who was in a big slump for the Pirates, now hitting 409 in the last 7 days. So take a screenshot. This is something you should look into because obviously when guys are hitting the ball well and on fire, you want to catch those streaks in baseball. So that's page 1. Let's check out page 2 now, and there it is, the 3 leaders. it's obvious. I mean, we all knew that it was going to be Brett Wisely of the San Francisco Giants hitting 500 in the last 7 days is the highest average in the league with these 20 at bats and all that. And then of course Matt Vierling, I mean the greatest hitter alive, 4 home runs and 10 ribbies in the last 7 days, also hitting 450, absolutely incredible. And then here's the rest of the guys. Anthony Volpe is just on another level right now, on an unbelievable hit streak, and just really setting the tone for that Yankees lineup. But those are all the rest of them. And page 2, take a screenshot. Hopefully these help you get some winners today and throughout the rest of the week and weekend. But now it's time to talk some arms. Okay, we got 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups, and this first one is a pitcher we used yesterday, but his start got moved back, and now he's facing a different team, but still a good matchup. Jack Flaherty versus the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox 7th highest K percentage versus righties this month of May, 24.4%, and you guys already know Flaherty 81 in 61 innings, pretty impressive. 6+ Ks in 8 straight starts. In his last 3 matchups, we talked about it yesterday, but they were tough matchups. Low K teams. He had 9 Arizona, 7 against Houston, and 6 versus the Guardians. And then we got Spencer Arrighetti Spaghetti versus my Seattle Mariners. I am pretty confident that if I was the starting pitcher versus my Seattle Mariners, my K line would be at around 3.5. I mean, they are just unbelievable. They know how to swing and miss. But they have the highest K percentage versus righties at around 28%. Spaghetti, 43 Ks in 37.2 innings. He's looked decent so far. He did start out rough in his career, but he's had between 5 and 7 Ks in 6 of his 8 starts, and 7 is the most he had in a game this year. So those are the 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups. And now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, we got just 1 page for the pitcher report with 8 games today. Jack Flaherty up there going up against Nick Pivetta. Obviously, advantage Detroit Tigers there on the pitching matchup. 33.3% K rate within a ridiculously low 3.7% walk rate. Other than that, we already talked about Spaghetti going up against Logan Gilbert, but Spaghetti has 11.3% walk rate. He does struggle in that at 11.2 hits per 9 innings and kind of a limited. As you can see, he's only pitched 37.2 innings, and Gilbert having one heck of a season with a 3.21 expected ERA. We got the rookie Christian Scott going for the Mets, 3.14 expected ERA. He's been pretty decent this year, but he's going up against Zach Gallen. We know Gallen's a little bit better at home, but they definitely have the pitcher advantage there. And then other than that, Reynaldo Lopez, one of those guys like Chris Sale and Luis Gil that have just kind of gone under the radar that have been unbelievable. How about a 1.75 ERA, an above average strikeout rate, a little below average walk rate, but he only gives up 6.7 hits per 9 innings. So those are all the matchups for May 30th. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this segment of the show is brought to you by our sponsor, Better Bet. That's BTR Bet, the best place to find, track, analyze, and share your bets. Click that link below in the description. Use the promo code JABO, and you get 30 days free. All right, bet number 1 takes us out to New York. We got the Mets hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks. D-backs money line minus 120, Mets money line plus 100 with a total of 7.5 runs. Let's jump right into it. I'm going to take the D-backs money line at minus 120 as my first best bet. That's right. It is not a player prop. We got Zach Gallen versus Christian Scott in this one. That's right. The guy with 2 first names. Zach Gallen is known for obviously being a little bit better at home, but he is the better starting pitcher here. He's the more proven starting pitcher. Christian Scott is a rookie if you don't know him, and he's been about as average can be. 21 Ks in 22.2 innings, 3.97 ERA. I mean, he's going to be a guy that probably goes 5 innings, gives up maybe 3-4 runs. He's just going to give you an okay start, in my opinion. But the D-backs have a chance to maybe get to him for even more because he does not give up a lot of ground balls. So the D-backs could possibly hit a bomb or 2 against him. He's in the 29th percentile of giving up ground balls. Not what you want to see as a pitcher, but he faces a D-backs offense. They have the 12th highest WRC plus versus righties this month. They're above average in pretty much all the advanced metrics, not top 5, not bottom 10 or anything like that. They're about above average. Zach Gallen, he has given up 8 earned runs in his last 25.2 innings. He's in pretty good form, but obviously we want to see him perform well on the road. Well, in his last 2 road starts, 2 earned runs in 6 innings at Baltimore and 0 earned runs and only 1 hit allowed in Cincinnati. So you like to see that he's actually performing well on the road. But now he takes on a Mets lineup. This is what I want to talk about. They've been a little bit worse overall this month than the D-backs. Is it a huge difference? Not really, but we're talking a Mets lineup now that's going to probably be without Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso in this one. That's right. The polar bear got hit in the hand yesterday and had to leave the game. Couldn't even finish. I would be completely surprised if he all of a sudden played the next day. He's more than likely going to be out. And then Francisco Lindor might take a day off as well because he has a swollen finger. They've been talking about it. Who knows? He's the only one that I'm not sure about exactly, but I don't think he's going to play. So without them two, that's going to be a big loss. Obviously, Alonso brings the power in that lineup, but and then the Mets also without their closer Edwin Diaz. He's obviously been great in his career. Been a little bit of a struggle lately, but he's still their closer, a guy they count on. He is also injured. And the D-backs, I mean, let's just face it, we're getting minus 120 for a team with the better starting pitcher, the healthier and better lineup right now. I mean, you got a rookie starter on the other side against the NL defending champs. I know they're not playing like that exactly this year yet, but this price is too good to pass up. I'm not sure why it's like this. Give me Zach Gallen. Give me the Arizona Diamondbacks on the money line at minus 120 as my first best bet. All right, just a reminder, I'm going to give you some hitter parlay ideas again after this second best bet. So this one takes us out to Los Angeles. We got the Angels hosting the New York Yankees. Yankees money line minus 180, Angels money line plus 150 with a total of 8.5 runs. I got a little same game parlay for you here. Give me Carlos Rodon under 6.5 Ks and Yankees team total over 2.5 runs. You put those two together, you get minus 104 on FanDuel. So let's break this down. Carlos Rodon under 6.5 Ks. The reason we're parlaying is because it is minus 165 on its own. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the minus 110, minus 120, but that's understandable at this line. So he is facing the Angels. So the Angels do, if you don't know much about the Angels, they do not strike out a lot against lefties, and they are very good at hitting lefties. I know it's a shock, but 10 of the 11 left-handed starters against the Angels have gone under this 6.5 line. Only one pitcher has K'd the Angels more than 6.5 times this season, and that is Logan Allen with 7. Just barely over. That's right, 7 is the most. Now, Carlos Rodon's K rate versus his K rate versus right-handed hitters is only 20.7%. That is a below average K rate versus righties. Now, why do I say that? Because I expect the Angels to put about 8 righties in the lineup. They just did that in Game 1 against nasty Nestor Cortez, the lefty. And Nestor only had 4 Ks. So he's going to face a lot of righties. He does have a 29.5% K rate against lefties. But like I said, they may only have one, which might be Shanwell at the leadoff spot. So on top of all that, like I mentioned before, they've been crushing lefties. The number 2 batting average, 3rd best OPS, 5th best WRC+. That's right. I am talking about the Los Angeles Angels without Mike Trout doing this well. 10th lowest K rate, which is all we really care about for this part of the bet. But obviously, if they're hitting him well, hitting him all over the field, he's going to go less, or he's going to go not as deep into the game, give him less opportunities to get those Ks as well. So you got Carlos Rodon, below average K rate on the road, and a below average K rate versus righties, and he's going to go up against this Angels lineup. I like him to make it 11 of 12 lefties to go under 6.5 Ks. Now, the second leg, let's face it, this is to reduce Rodon's juice. I don't know if that sounded great, actually, now that I say it out loud. But their team total is set at 4.5, juice to the over on that one. I just need 3 runs versus the lefty, Patrick Sandoval. And if you look at yesterday, the Yankees only scored 2 runs. But my goodness, guys, we were sweating it out. They had guys in scoring position every single inning, it seemed like, and they should have had a lot more runs. I think they bounced back here in a big way. Sandoval, 5.6 ERA, not good. Just gave up 8 runs to the Guardians in less than 4 innings last start. He's given up 2 or more earned runs in 8 of the 11 starts, which is, we only need 3 runs. So I think the Yankees could have 3 runs by the time he gets out of the game. But if he doesn't, they're guaranteed. If they don't, they are guaranteed 9 at-bats as the road team. I think they can easily score another run or 2 off the Angels bullpen. So give me the best offense in the league to just score 3 runs versus a bad starting pitcher, along with Carlos Rodon under 6.5 Ks as my second best bet. That was a lot of talking. Now, let's go check out those hitter parlay ideas. Let's see if we can stay hot. Again, 3 for 3 yesterday on these. Not all the props are out, so I don't have a hitter parlay yet for you, but I will have one in the morning because there's lots of options. But I got 4 I want to talk about. First one, why wouldn't we say it again? Marcell Ozuna, 1+ hit in 20 of 22 games, hitting a decent 10 for 30 off Williams, as we know. He's very familiar with him. So he's also hitting 354 at home, Ozuna. We've talked about that before, compared to 294 on the road. The next guy, maybe the best leadoff hitter, one of the best hitters right now in all of baseball, Anthony Volpe, 22-game hitting streak. Absolutely insane. 34 more, and he reaches Joe DiMaggio. 2+ hits also in 5 of the last 7 games. That's how good he's been, hitting 292 on the road this year. Bobby Witt, this is kind of a duh. I'm going to be honest with you, but 1+ hit in 11 of his last 12. He has 2+ hits in 6 of his last 10 For those of you that like to maybe bet 2+ hits on people, he is hitting 315 versus righties compared to 250 versus lefties. He is facing the righty, Chris Paddock, who has given up about 11 hits per 9 innings this season. One of the most hittable pitchers on the slate today. And then the fourth one's kind of the under the radar one. If you want to take a chance, Matt Vierling of the Detroit Tigers. He's hitting 450 the last 7 days. We just saw that on the Who's on Fire. He's 8 for his last 16. That's right. 1+ hit in 9 of his last 12. He is facing Nick Pivetta. Not a great matchup, not a bad matchup. He's about average on giving up hits per 9 innings, as you saw in the pitcher report. He does now. Matt Vierling. Here's the one warning: he does hit lefties a little bit better. Pivetta is a righty. He's hitting 253 versus righties compared to 321 versus lefties. But again, he's been hot. He hasn't been hot just against lefties in the last 7 days. He's been hitting the ball really well. It's just one of those under the radar ones if you guys want to take a chance, along with 3 of the more obvious ones, probably with Ozuna, Volpe, and Witt. But we don't have a ton of options with only 8 games. So those are my hitter parlay ideas. Again, I'll have my hitter parlay out in the morning. So those are my bets. That's all I got for you. Let's check out the recap. All right, there they are. The 2 bets so far. The D-backs on the money line at -120 and Carlos Rodon under 6.5 Ks and the Yankees team total over 2.5 runs. That is an alt line on the second one, obviously. Same game parlay at -104 on FanDuel. Any added plays in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. Thank you guys again for listening. I appreciate all the support all week. Let's get some more winners and end this week right for the last couple days and end the month of May right as well. So again, go check out that NBA video if you haven't already and hit that like button. I appreciate every single one of you. All right, have a great Thursday. We'll talk to you soon.